Yes, folks, I am wearing cat ears because I am going to be talking about a particular cat, a particular cat woman. Oh my God, I sounded like, you know how like people do impersonations of the of Mayor Fisk, and like I'm going to talk about a particular woman, a cat woman. Yeah. So I feel like that's what I sounded like I was doing. And I was absolutely not trying to do that. No, no whatsoever. Okay. So I'm bringing up my hoopla, which is where I read this Catwoman book. Yay. Um, so this is the first arc of the All In Catwoman, um, which is Who is Catwoman Volume One. It's a new Volume One because it's a new writer, um, artist team. Who is Selina Kyle? Um, so the author, main artist, author is Torunn Gronbekk. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I apologize. I gave it the old college try. Okay. Fabiana Mascola is the main artist. Let me just go ahead and open up this puppy and I can tell you more of the artistry. That would be colorist. Okay, so there's another artist that works on this book, excuse me. That's Marina Agnazi. Um, the colorist is Patricio Dapachi. The letterer is Steve Wands. And the collection cover artist is Seba um, Fiumera. Again, college try here on the whole thing. Okay. Let me tell you something right off the bat. The cover art on these covers is phenomenal. Seba deserves their flowers. Um, it definitely works for me. Very like especially this first cover is very good. I very much like this first cover. I wish I could say the rest for the book I read. Honestly, I'm just gonna come right out and say it right now. This was a miss for me. I feel like there's been some really good Selina Kyle Catwoman stories that have come out in recent years, especially since I started reading again. Um, where you have Rom V and then you have Teenie Howard, which I have mixed feelings about Teenie Howard because I really liked the Catwoman run, but I really did not like her Harley Quinn run. Um, so, but I will say very much that I loved Rom V's writing of the Catwoman, Selina Kyle. Um, so one of the things that I talk about a lot when I talk about comic book writing and comic book reading is the idea of tropes and how they can be molded to be something more than themselves. And the thing is it's not even they lean on a trope with this one. It's the idea of Um, let me just kind of read you the synopsis, and then we'll get into what I thought of it. A tale of identity, broken alliances, and pulse pounding action. Not really. Begins when an attempt is made on Selena Kyle's life at a fundraiser with Gotham's high society. What's more, names and faces from her past begin to make headlines on their way to the obituary column. It can't be a coincidence, but who's ordered these murders and why? Yeah, precisely why. As she desperately searches for clues as to who has orchestrated this lethal manhunt, one thing becomes abundantly clear: the answers don't lie in her life as the Catwoman of Gotham City. To unravel this mystery, Selina Kyle must return to the underworld of the sinister international syndicate that helped transform her into the world's foremost thief years ago. From Berlin to Tokyo to everywhere in between, can Selina Kyle turn her predator into prey, or will the feline fatale? Gosh, I can't speak lately. It's not just on here. It's like everywhere. I'm having problems speaking. I'm like, I literally last night was like having the worst trouble saying names that like I always say. And like, just, I sat there, I was like, did I have a stroke? Like, I don't feel like I had a stroke. Did I have a stroke? Um, so, can Selena Kyle turn her predator into prey, or will the Faline Fatale meet her fatal end? Wow, say that a few times fast. Um, the Faline Fatale. I'm not going to do that. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not going to do that. No. No. So here's the thing. Okay, so immediately you have the trope of Selena Kyle has to go and leave Gotham City. Everybody's done it. I swear to God, everybody's done the Selena Kyle must get out of town storyline. So you have that right away. You have um, the idea that something from her past is coming to mess with her. Somebody's trying to kill her. You have so many different tropes, and it's all based on the training of Selena Kyle and in her early days. And it's very interesting because the juxtaposition of tropey storylines involving Batman and how much they kind of interact, or not interact, but they correspond with Selena Kyle's. Except Batman, it's the moments of training and lands far away from Bruce Wayne's past is coming to haunt him, and except we change it to Selena Kyle. But it's one of those things where it's like you have a number of different themes and tropes um, within this, just that, right, that description. And some of the recent storylines involving uh, Catwoman that I mentioned before, the Ron V run, the Teeny Howard one, they all took tropes and added twists onto them. And there were moments every so often in those tales that every so often, every so many books, you had a twist that paid off for the reader um, in some way. Okay. Whether you feel like anything was successful in their payoff, that would remain to the judgment of the reader. The problem is that you have, with this one, you have 6 issues, and it's very clear that these 6 issues are part of a bigger tale, but there's no real major payoff within those 6 issues. So you like, if you know that something is going to be an arc of a bigger tale, you have to kind of divide up these big reveals, these climaxes, these reveals throughout the story. And the thing is like, if there's anything that constitutes a reveal in this, the reveal is so minor that it's almost, well, predictable. Um, and maybe this is one of those things where there's a bigger plan, there's a bigger tale that's being told here. But the thing is when you don't, when you have these little bursts of writing, it's little bursts of story, there's no hook. something to hook the reader um, by means of a midi climax, that's going to be one of those things where, one of those things that doesn't hook the reader past that sixth issue, especially if you're formatting these and you're putting them together in 6 issue arcs and presenting them to everyone to read in 6 issue arcs. I mean, it might be banking on the idea that people are reading issue to issue, except for the fact that there's nothing to keep people going from issue to issue. Um, I don't want to say there's nothing. I mean, there's things happening on the page, but honestly, it was nothing that hooked me personally. So that's one thing that you have to understand is that my personal opinion, there was no hook. There was no mini climax. Um, there was no reveal. There was a unearned cliffhanger. But honestly, based on the rest of the book, I'm not looking for the second arc of this series. I'm not. I'm not looking for the second volume. I feel like I can go ahead and probably wait until this storyline is over and go, put my reading to use in other places. And that's unfortunate. I am a fan of Catwoman, and there's several tropes here with no climax and no payoff, and even if it's not a huge reveal, um, huge reveals, huge the main climaxes of the story are usually reserved for when you're doing a bigger tale like this, like it looks like this is going to be maybe. Those are usually reserved for near the end of the entire thing, but you got to give little moments that are going to keep someone going to the end of your entire plan. And that just wasn't here for me. Um, there were also moments in the art, and I don't know who was responsible because I'm not going to go through each of these and find it, but there's some moments in the art where it looked like Selina Kyle was bending in a way that even when you're putting that frame of mind of willing suspension of disbelief, it just looked like, is she auditioning for the role of Reed Richards? Um, because I'm not sure the public would. I'm sure the public will accept a lot of things. I don't know about that. Um, I would accept it. I'd be like, shit, let's see what happens. Um, but Selena kind of bends or like body contorts in a way that you're like, I don't even know if someone in peak physical condition like her can bend that way. Um, like she's rubber, like she's silly putty, and I don't get it. And I gotta tell you guys, like this is not. I hate doing bad reviews. I mean, I'm a reviewer that hates doing bad reviews, apparently. But it just didn't grab me. And maybe these are evergreen tropes for you, and you're like, just give me all of that, and that's a book that maybe my bad review. I always feel like maybe my bad review might still entice someone to read a book because the things I don't like about it could be the things that they like about it. And so it didn't hit here, but maybe it hits elsewhere. But all in all, this was a miss for me, and that's unfortunate. I do very much love the character of Catwoman, And so we'll see what happens in the future. And if I am at a loss for anything else to read, maybe I'll read that second volume of this tale and see. But there's always a chance that if things don't improve soon, I will probably DNF that book. But who knows? Maybe I grab it and I love it. I don't know what I have to put myself in a position where it's okay. To me, like I just DNF'd like a regular novel, um, and it was one of those things where it had all kinds of different elements um, that should make the book something that I would love. Um, but for some reason, the execution, the way everything was put together, the different elements were put together, it just, I wasn't excited to read it. I wasn't excited to experience it. And I'd gotten over halfway through the book and I was like, I'm not excited. I'm not interested in continuing. We're going to stop. And that is, something that I do a lot less with comic books because of, especially with a 6 issue trade paperback. Um, because, well, it's so short. It takes so little time to read it comparatively to what it takes for me to read a book. Um, so I rarely DNF those. I might pause something, but I rarely DNF a book. So this is probably why I finished reading it. So I'd have something to tell y'all about when I got there. Um, so, anyways, um, what else, is there anything else I can say about this? Like I said, those covers were fire. Um, yeah, is there anything else I can say? No, I think I pretty much covered it here. So that'll do me for this week. Thank you for joining us for the Collected Edition Tuesdays review of Catwoman Volume One. Who is Selina Kyle? I know who she is. I'm not sure about this book though. But anyways, until next time, I'll be seeing ya. Bye.